Well, Douglas Promenade has certainly been taking a pounding over the last few hours. The promenade is actually deserted, hardly anyone around. The overtopping near the sea terminal side is, I've never seen anything quite like it. It's brought up a lot of the paving stones. See these pictures, there's immense damage done to the walkway side. Whole slabs have been pulled up. The force of this wind here, that high tide together, has brought conditions that I haven't seen on this end of the promenade. We normally expect more down some land of the promenade.
We don't really have an offering, and we get a very small number somewhere. Last year was about 6,000. So we believe we can develop, as part of our harbour strategy, Victoria Pier, and that will allow boats up to 240 metres, which is about 3/4 of what there is out there at the moment, and hopefully be able to develop quite an exciting industry.
So a few weeks ago, we had somebody call up and say that a lot of, a skeleton, not just a bone, but a skeleton they'd seen on the beach in Kirkmichael, and so they said, would we be interested in going down? And we said, yes, please.
Well, if you take what the post office, it had the post office here had offices up the stairs, and depending what way we're looking at what way we develop this, is that the post office had plans for knocking the whole back down, keeping the front fascia, and turning it into a retail unit. But since we got into the building and we've seen some of the old safes and the deposit boxes, there's some really nice features.
Yeah, from the exterior, of course it's in good nick. I mean, over the years there's been money spent on it, modifying it and so on, but it's a limestone building, it's solid limestone. I've worked in it when I was an electrician, so I know exactly what it's like. I've been up in the roof space and everything, and it is a very, very sturdy building, but there are limitations on what you can do with it, because of course you can't alter internal walls because they're also solid limestone. So the thing I think that's more important is when government looks to dispose of properties, as always, should look at whether or not there is actually another use for it.
I'm a bit confused though. You've rung me because, well, you haven't rung me, that's the thing. You just sent me a text message. Wouldn't you have rung me? I'm obviously just being careful that you are. I'm just making sure you're at Isle of Man Bank, of course, because obviously there's a lot of frauds going on.
Of course, I do understand. You may have been set up for text alerts on the account.
I haven't been. No, I haven't.
You received a message from our networking frame.
No, I haven't been set up for any text messaging as far as I'm aware. Well, we're down here at the quayside of Douglas after reports of smoke billowing from one of the buildings here on South Quay, and thick fog. Smoke is still coming out there. It's actually quite toxic. You can smell it. It's quite deep. And from I understand, it's a screed company that makes this item that you put on top of flooring. So it's oil-based and probably, as you can see, goes up. Most of Douglas around this area has come to a complete halt because of the traffic situation. There's a lot of fire engines, of course, as you expect, in attendance, a lot of standing by, and at the moment the smoke is still gushing out of that building and going right across the whole area.
The fundamental issue is that the Victorian standards of engineering are not necessarily acceptable today, and there is no safeguard on the Snaefell cars against such things happening.
So that sort of was one shock, but then to follow it up with a second accident was pretty unbelievable for people watching what was going. The safety suddenly became very critical, which I think people were taking for granted everything was safe, but it wasn't, was it?
Yes. The analogy that somebody has quoted to me was that I've got a Ford Fiesta and that's safe, but it would be safer if I had a Volvo. And it's a similar situation. The Victorian standards are very reliant on the human being to perform in their job and to do the job well and to do the job safely. And there is very little backup to that in the scenarios that we face. In a modern world, in a modern railway, the driver is, yes, they're doing his job, but there are systems behind him that support him if he has a bad moment.